American UFO lore, few events have ignited as much intrigue or controversy as the Roswell incident of 1947.
Left that was alive in 1947.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
It all kicked off during the tense early days of the Cold War, when the U.S. Army Air Forces dropped a bombshell claiming they had recovered a flying disc from a remote ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. More than 7 decades later, Roswell remains synonymous with UFOs, turning the town into a hub of extraterrestrial curiosity. From its UFO museum and research center to alien-themed streetlights, and even a stranded alien family seeking help along State Route 285, Roswell has embraced its otherworldly reputation. Yet beneath the frenzy lies a murky reality. The truth behind that summer's events is shrouded in mystery, tangled with government cover-ups and a flurry of conflicting theories. Was it a flying saucer, a secret spy mission, or even a Soviet plot? And just when you think the story's settled, new revelations keep surfacing.
Since the late 1940s, Americans have been fascinated by a mysterious region in Nevada known as Area 51.
Before we dive deep into this mesmerizing tale of the unknown, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get instant notifications. Sometime between mid-June and early July 1947, rancher Mac Brazel stumbled upon strange debris scattered across his vast property in Lincoln County, New Mexico, about 75 miles from Roswell. That summer, the nation was already buzzing with reports of flying discs and saucers, so when Brazel found pieces of rubber, tinfoil, and thick paper, he couldn't help but wonder if he'd discovered something extraordinary.
The Air Force has recently made public an archive of UFO reports and investigations.
Are there any alien remains?
Curious, he took a sample of the wreckage to Sheriff George Wilcox in Roswell, who quickly escalated the matter to Colonel William Blanchard, the commanding officer at Roswell Army Airfield, RAAF. The very next day, the RAAF released an official statement that electrified the nation. The rumors about the flying disc became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Bomb Group at Roswell Army Airfield acquired a disc, thanks to the cooperation of a local rancher and the Chaves County Sheriff's Office. This announcement only deepened the mystery, setting off a wave of speculation that would endure for decades.
And now that UFOs are being taken more seriously, more people are coming forward with their own sightings.
The day after the RAAF's shocking announcement, the Roswell Daily Record ran a headline that fueled the growing frenzy over the flying saucer crash. However, the excitement was short-lived. U.S. Army officials swiftly backtracked, declaring the debris was not from an alien craft, but merely a weather balloon. To support this revised story, they released photos of Major Jesse Marcel posing with what they claim were remnants of the weather balloon.
The next day, the US Army changed its story, saying it was a harmless, high-altitude weather balloon, not a grounded flying disc. Still, Mac Brazel said that he'd picked up bits of weather balloons before.
Yet for decades, UFO enthusiasts and researchers remained skeptical of the government's sudden change in narrative. In 1994, their suspicions gained some validation when the U.S. Air Force released a report admitting that the weather balloon story had been a cover-up. The wreckage, they revealed, had actually come from a secret spy project known as Project Mogul. This top-secret operation involved a string of high-altitude balloons equipped with microphones designed to detect sound waves from Soviet nuclear tests. The classified nature of the mission required the government to concoct the weather balloon explanation to protect the sensitive information. Further conspiracy theories, particularly those involving claims of alien bodies being recovered from the crash site, were addressed in a 1997 follow-up report. The Air Force explained that the supposed aliens were likely parachute test dummies used in experiments. According to Roger Launius, a historian and former curator at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, these reports largely resolved most of the lingering mysteries surrounding the Roswell incident, though for many the allure of the unknown remains. This story has been resolved, says Launius. Have all questions been answered? I can't say for sure, but I don't believe there are any major gaps left. Launius also points out that, in matters of national security, secrecy is paramount. You don't reveal state secrets in the name of national security. My guess is that they saw the initial flying saucer claim as a convenient cover story. However, not everyone is convinced. Donald Schmitt, a UFO researcher who has spent nearly 30 years investigating Roswell and co-founded the International UFO Museum and Research Center, challenges that explanation. Schmitt argues that the flying saucer story was far too flashy and would have inevitably drawn unwanted attention to a region brimming with sensitive military activities.
Roswell Army Airfield at that time actually put out a press release where they claimed they had captured the real thing. And then 5 hours later, they explained it away as just a weather balloon device, which still, as you mentioned, is the official government position after all this time.
It was the last thing the War Department needed, he contends. Just 2 hours west of Roswell, the first atomic bomb had been detonated. Atomic research was ongoing at Los Alamos. They were testing captured German Mi-2 rockets at White Sands. And at Roswell, the headquarters of the first atomic bomb squadron, Schmitt explains. The idea that they would deliberately generate any kind of publicity as a distraction? If anything, they needed to keep a low profile.
Together we shall save our planet, or together we shall perish in its flames.
Another controversial theory, presented in the book Area 51, an uncensored history of
Area 51. The Area 51.
Area 51.
Area 51.
The Air Force has recently made public an archive of UFO reports
of America's top-secret military base, suggests that the crashed craft at Roswell wasn't extraterrestrial, nor was it linked to U.S. espionage. Instead, it proposes a chilling plan orchestrated by Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin to incite mass hysteria in the U.S. An unnamed source, who claimed to have worked as an engineer at Area 51 for the defense contractor EG&G, shared this story with author Annie Jacobson, a seasoned national security journalist and Pulitzer Prize nominee.
Everybody wants to know about Area 51 because it's like this American enigma, you know, and to others it's the place of captured aliens, right? And everything in between.
According to the source, the sinister plot was masterminded by Nazi doctor Joseph Mengele, infamous for his human experiments during World War II. The Soviets allegedly disfigured adolescent children to resemble aliens, then sent them in a bizarre aircraft to New Mexico. Stalin's plan, according to the book, was for these children to emerge from the craft, causing Americans to mistake them for Martians, thus triggering widespread panic. This would supposedly overwhelm America's early warning radar system with false UFO sightings. This theory could explain the strange wreckage described by Jesse Marcel Jr., the son of the intelligence officer initially involved in the Roswell incident. In his book, The Roswell Legacy, Marcel Jr. recalled how his father brought home pieces of the UFO debris, allowing him to examine it before returning it to the military. Marcel Jr. described the material as metallic with strange symbols. At first, I thought of Egyptian hieroglyphics, but there were no animal shapes. They weren't mathematical figures either. They were geometric symbols: squares, circles, triangles, pyramids. Marcel Jr. was just 11 years old at the time, and with the Cold War in its infancy, some have speculated that he might have misinterpreted Cyrillic writing as something far more mysterious. However, both Donald Schmitt and Roger Launius dismiss this idea. There's no evidence in any Soviet archives to support such experiments, Launius says, and if the goal was to incite panic, it failed completely. The Roswell incident remains one of the most debated and mysterious events in UFO history, and while the U.S. government has provided multiple explanations, many still find the case far from fully resolved. Whether you believe it was a secret government operation or something more otherworldly depends on which side of the debate you stand on. Number 1. Mysterious debris. When rancher Mac Brazel discovered strange wreckage on his land, the material included lightweight metal foil, sticks, and rubber strips. Witnesses described the debris as unlike anything they had ever seen. One detail that stood out was that this metallic material could be crumpled, but would then return to its original shape, fueling speculation about extraterrestrial origins. Number 2. Army's conflicting statements. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield RAAF released a press statement saying they had recovered a flying disc. However, just one day later, the military retracted that statement and explained that the object was merely a weather balloon. This sudden shift in the story created suspicion and became a focal point for conspiracy theorists. Number 3. Project Mogul. In 1994, the U.S. Air Force declassified information about Project Mogul, a secret Cold War operation designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests using high-altitude balloons. The wreckage found at Roswell was attributed to this program, explaining why the materials and technology seemed unfamiliar at the time. However, this revelation came decades later, after UFO theories had already taken hold. Number 4. Witness accounts of alien bodies. Some witnesses, like Glenn Dennis, claim to have seen small, humanoid bodies near the crash site or inside military hangars. These reports intensified the belief that extraterrestrial beings were involved, even though official investigations never confirmed such claims. Number 5. 1947 Media Frenzy. The initial news of a crashed flying disc made headlines across the U.S., with newspapers and radio broadcasts quickly spreading the story. The excitement and widespread coverage made Roswell a national sensation, marking it as the first major UFO incident in modern history. Number 6. Government cover-up claims. Many conspiracy theorists believe that the U.S. government orchestrated a deliberate cover-up to hide the existence of alien spacecraft. Some allege that the government recovered both the wreckage and alien bodies and went to great lengths to suppress the truth, with secret storage facilities such as Area 51 being part of this effort. Number 7. Air Force Report. In the 1990s, the U.S. Air Force revisited the Roswell incident and published a report in 1997 called the Roswell Report, Case Closed. It stated that the supposed alien bodies were actually anthropomorphic test dummies used in high-altitude balloon experiments. This explanation did little to silence UFO believers, who argued that the report was just another layer of the cover-up. Number 8. Deathbed confessions. Several military personnel, including Major Jesse Marcel, who had been involved in the initial investigation, reportedly made deathbed confessions claiming that the object that crashed was not a weather balloon, but something extraterrestrial. These confessions have added fuel to the ongoing mystery, with UFO enthusiasts seeing them as proof of a cover-up. Number 9. Ongoing UFO investigations. The Roswell incident played a critical role in shaping public interest in UFOs. Decades after the incident, it continues to inspire investigations, with many people still believing that the U.S. government is hiding crucial information about the crash. The event is often cited in broader discussions about government secrecy and alien encounters. Number 10. Roswell tourism. The town of Roswell has embraced its UFO history, becoming a hub for alien and UFO enthusiasts. It holds annual UFO festivals and has a dedicated UFO museum, attracting visitors from around the world. The event has not only left its mark on pop culture, but also transformed the town's identity. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts about this mystery in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.